Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Ashtottara Shataśri Srimad His Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravindra Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Ashtottara Shataśri Srimad His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai Anand Koti Vaishnav Ki Jai Ramacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaur Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai Prajapati Vrindavan Dhari Ki Jai Grandharaj Shrimadbhagavatam Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Welcome to Devsan Mandir ISKCON Detroit Shrimadbhagavatam book reading. So, today we are reading from Shrimadbhagavatam Canto 1, Chapter 11, Lord Krishna's Entrance into Dwarka, Text 15. Let us start with invocation prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayashu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Welcome to Devsan Mandir Srimad Bhagavatam Bhagavatam reading. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 1 Chapter 11 Lord Krishna's Entrance into Dwarka, Text 15. Dvari Dvari Grihanam Cha
Dvari Dvari Grihanam Cha
Dvari Dvari Grihanam Cha
Dvari Dvari Grihanam Cha
Dadi Akshata Falekshubhi
Dadyachata Falechubhi
Dadyakshata Falekshubhi
Dadyachata Falechubhi
Alankritam Purna Kumbhe
Alankritam Purnakumbhe
Alankritam Purna Kumbhe
Alankritam Purnakumbhe
Bali Vir Dupa Deepakai
Bali Virdhupa Deepakai
Bali Vir Dupa Deepakai
Bali Virdhupa Deepakai
Dvari Dvari Grihanam Cha
Dvari Dvari Grihanam Cha
Dadi Akshata Falekshubhi
Dadyachata Falechubhi
Alankritam Purna Kumbhe
Alankritam Purnakumbhe
Bali Vir Dupa Deepakai.
Bali Virdhupa Deepakai.
Anyone would like to repeat?
Dvari Dvari Grihanam Cha
Dvari Dvari Grihanam Cha
Dadyachata Falechubhi
Dadyakshata Falekshubhi
Alankritam Purnakumbhe
Alankritam Purna Kumbhe
Bali Virdhupa Deepakai.
Bali Vir Dupa Deepakai. Let us go word by word. Dvari Dvari,
Dvari Dvari,
the door of each and every house.
the door of each and every house.
Grihana,
Grihana,
of all the residential buildings.
of all the residential buildings.
Cha
Cha
and Dadi,
Dadi,
curd,
Curd,
Akshata,
Akshata,
unbroken,
Unbroken,
Phala,
Phala,
fruit,
Fruit,
Ikshubhi,
Ikshubhi,
sugarcane,
Sugarcane,
Alankritam,
Alankritam,
decorated,
Decorated,
Purna Kumbhai,
Purnakumbhi,
full water pots,
full water pots,
Balibi,
Balibi,
along with articles of worship,
along with articles of worship.
Dhupa,
Dhupa,
incense,
incense,
Deepakai,
Deepakai,
lamps and candles.
with lamps and candles.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravindra Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Translation. In each and every door of the residential houses, auspicious things like curd, unbroken fruits, sugarcane, and full water pots, and articles for worship, incense, and candles were all displayed. Please repeat. In each and every door,
in each and every door
of the residential houses
of the residential houses
auspicious things like
auspicious things like
curd, unbroken fruits, sugarcane, and full water pots, and articles for worship, incense and candles were all displayed. Perfect. The process of reception, according to Vedic rites, is not at all dry. The reception was made not simply by decorating the roads and streets as above mentioned, but by worshipping the Lord with requisite ingredients like incense, lamps, flowers, sweets, fruits, and other palatable eatables, according to one's capacity. All were offered to the Lord, and the remnants of foodstuff were distributed amongst the gathering citizens. So it was not likely a dry reception of these modern days. Each and every house was ready to receive the Lord in a similar way, and thus each and every house on the roads and streets distributed such remnants of food to the citizens, and therefore the festival was successful. Without distribution of food, no function is complete, and that is the way of Vedic culture. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitera Tasmai Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsta Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatan Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostuke Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunavati Paschatya Deshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So today we are reading from chapter Lord Krishna's entrance into Dwaraka, text 15, which describes like each and every door of the residential houses, auspicious things like curd, unbroken fruits, sugarcane, and full water pots, and articles for worship, incense and candles were all displayed. So yesterday we have seen how the outside places like the highways, subways, lanes, markets, and public meeting places were all thoroughly cleansed and then moistened with scented water. And to welcome the Lord, fruits, flowers, and broken seeds were strewn everywhere. So today, like as we have seen in the translation, how each and every door of the residential houses resembles the auspicious things like curd, unbroken fruits, sugarcane, and full water pots, which were very well displayed. So, Supreme Lord Sri Krishna was returning to his place, Dwaraka. So, out of great separation feeling, out of great Vipralamba Bhava, he was moving from Hastinapura to Dwaraka, because everywhere he goes, his dear ones are there, his devotees are there always, and he feels very much pleasing to be staying in that association of devotees, because he loves to be with his devotees. So what is the significance of today's text is, this describes every single house, not just royal palaces, were being decorated very auspicious with auspicious paraphernalia. And this also demonstrates collective devotion, not just an individual show or arrangement. And the culture centered on the welcoming of the Lord is not a merry speculation or spectatorship. It's very pure and deep. And the process of reception according to Vedic rites is not dry. And what is the contrast between Vedic reception and modern ceremonial emptiness? So today, the three important sections we want to see is like external decorations as expressions of inner devotion. Then comes worship, offering and prasada distribution, the heart of Vedic culture. And last but not least, it's not a dry reception, culture versus civilization. So first comes first, we're gonna see external decorations as expressions of inner devotion. So here, as we see in the first line of the text, here, text 15, Dvari Dvari Grihana. So every door has been decorated so auspiciously, filled with all paraphernalia like curd, incense sticks, candles, unbroken fruits, articles, water pots. Everything got arranged at each and every door. So here we observe is the devotion is not centralized, but it is distributed among all. Because if at all, if there is any ceremonial event, only a particular house or a group of houses, they will only prepare all the items for that. Items and whatever necessary arrangements are there, they will do that. But when it comes to a big festival like Janmashtami, Radhashtami and many other big festivals, then whole city, every one of the families, like they will be getting more and more involved if they are very much pleased to Krishna, and they got that taste for Krishna consciousness. So whoever gets that, they will be engaging in devotional service eternally. So nevertheless, no house will be remain open, or no house gets detached from doing the arrangements while welcoming the Supreme Personality of Godhead into the kingdom, who is also the ruler of Dwarka. But apart from ruler, he was the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Who will be not arranging if you know that Supreme Personality of Godhead is coming to your home? So how much arrangement you gonna do, and how much clean it will be, and how much efforts you keep in that the cleaning process and even the decorating process. But we all know like how Lord resides through Archa Vigraha. So he reciprocates through Archa Vigraha when we offer our deity worship, and when we offer our obeisances, and when we try to chant sincerely just upon sitting just opposite to the deities. So here the Dwarkavasis, no individual householder has said like, oh, why should I do? All are doing, so let them do. Why should I do? They did not think of even a single person. They never had the thought of this one, because they were in full ecstasy of Krishna. They were immersed in his merciful glances. So that's the important thing that to be noted is like devotion is not centralized, but it is distributed. And everyone wants to be part of devotional service because they relish the joy. Even though they are trying to do for Supreme Lord Krishna, but still devotees make their endeavors in such a way that it gives them more and more pleasure, because service to Supreme Lord is like service to all the humanity at once. Because if Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna is getting pleased, then each and every living entity gets that benefit. So one may question, like, what are these auspicious items and what is the significance of them? So here the mentioning things are curd or dahi, which signifies purity and nourishment, and akshata, which are unbroken grains, which indicates completeness and continuity in your path of going back to Godhead. And then comes like fruits and sugar cane, which resembles sweetness and prosperity, and Purna Kumbha, which resembles fullness, welcome, and life. So this Purna Kumbha is very sacred, and it is carried up by the people who perform many rituals or very big ceremonies. So this Purna Kumbha will be holded by the owner of the house or who are organizing the event. So they're gonna host that Purna Kumbha. It is very sacred and it indicates our fullness in our bhakti and everything. So next comes is incense and lamps, which are meant or which are referred to for the purification and illumination. So even in the purport, Prabhupada stresses like decorations were not for display and everything was meant for Lord's pleasure, not for our own sense gratification, because every paraphernalia has its own significance and it gives a great pleasure to the Supreme Lord because he is being worshipped by his devotees. And so I would like to quote this analogy of wedding of some common person and versus the big festivals in the temples. So nowadays, like how the modern weddings are being carried up by the society is like they will hire the external people or external team to manage the decorations. They have to manage, that one team will managing the decoration, one team will be managing the cooking and distributing of the food to all, and one team will be engaging in getting the bride and bridegroom ready. So there were a lot of teams, but one thing that is lacking here is like love, affection. Because the teams which are being hired for doing that, they feel it as a work, but they will not do out of their own compassion, out of their own love and mercy. So, suppose in case of you only, if you try to go to your dear ones, and even if you try to help them a little bit, they were very much impressed by that. But if you go to a workplace and even if you struggle a lot, but still at the end of the day, if the superior hasn't been satisfied with your performance, then eventually he will be considered to instruct you, not this, you should not do this, you should do that, and he will take a key concern on you, how to improve your work and all. But nevertheless, they think about emotional level, because that also makes a huge impact on working environment. So this is the one part. And when it comes to festival comparison in temples and many big places, so Vedic festivals are the offerings that nourish everyone, because everyone who takes part in that service and who takes part in the festival or big feast programs, like even auspicious days like Radhashtami, Janmashtami, and Gopashtami and everything. So these are all auspicious holy days observed. So these gives a great nourishment to everyone. This gives a great pleasure to one who just even visited that place on a certain time where the whole event is being carried out. So he feels a great joy. There's someone who is coming new also. Next comes is like worship, offering and prasada distribution, which is the heart of Vedic culture. So reception was worship, but not passive watching, but active service towards the fulfillment of the worship and to please Krishna. That is the most important. That's the reason why the reception was worship. And everyone contributed according to their own capacity. So whatever best you can do, whatever the things that you can accumulate in such a way that you don't strain your body much and you don't work a lot, like 10 hours, 12 hours a day, it's even has a great impact on your mind and consciousness also. Because always you will be thinking about work, even in your sleep or dreams, you will be thinking that, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. You will be planning in the sleep as well. You can't even sleep peacefully if you are if you are trying to make great steps, like great endeavors in your workplace or in any place. Jai Shri Radha Kundu Bihari, Jai Jagannath, Jai Baldev, Jai Subhadra, So, the key line that stresses in this purport is like, without distribution of food, no function is complete, and that is the way of Vedic culture. Because, see, if you try to go to an event and it lasts for more than 3-4 hours, like obviously if they could arrange a good feast or some prasad, so then you won't feel that, even though if you are staying for a long time, you don't feel that, because every one of us has the feeling of hunger at one point or other. If you are with your loved ones, or if you are at a temple, or if you are at a good place, then you don't feel that hunger right away, but you try to increase your patience and tolerance for that hunger. And eventually, after some time, all the devotees and all the elderly persons may start honoring the prasad, so that you will also be getting a great thing like prasad. So, and we even see in many festivals, many events, like daily events like marriages, birthdays, and various other events also. If at all they doesn't host or they doesn't serve the prasad, then we feel like, oh, we can just meet them and we can just come back. What is the big deal in that? And some people may even think like, oh, why going there? Anyhow, like I can even reply back to him through message, like I can wish him right away. But the thing is like, the more you engage with them, the more you associate with them, the higher they develop. So if you want to serve Vaishnavas and if you want to serve other people, the best service is like serving the prasad to all the Vaishnavas, like feeding them, which is more and more important in our day-to-day life. Even in our case, if you try not to take any meal from day to night, so obviously you will be getting tired and you will be feeling more and more hunger. So that is not good for your health, even physical and mental health as well. So if you try to arrange a program, or if you try to arrange a good occasion, then if you make some endeavors to include some new prasad recipes, if you try to offer to the Lord, and if you try to distribute among your friends and relatives, they will also be relished out of it. And and even kids who are very small, they don't have any particular engagement with all the elderly people over there. They just simply gets attracted to what's attractive food I have is there any ice cream, is there any snack, is there any something like that. So kids, like, they will engage more if you try to feed them more and more, and if you try to feed them in a healthy manner. So feeding prasadam is also very good thing, and this is our great Krishna consciousness movement and ISKCON had been tremendously grown in the aspect of distributing prasad to all over, like if at all a temple is situated in a place, a 10-kilometer radius from the temple, no one should be feeling hunger. So this was the Prabhupada's idea, and it got tremendously, the idea got picked up, and many people who was residing near the temples, the dhams and all, they were relishing the prasad by daily honoring it. So that important is that. And prasada is non-negotiable. Offering the bhoga to Supreme Personality of Godhead, and after he had showered his glance upon that prasad, that bhoga, it converts into prasad, which is spiritualized now. So the remnants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, if we try to distribute them, we get a tremendous benefit. And even knowingly or unknowingly, if someone has honored the prasadam, then they get the highest spiritual benefit. And they even, if they try to do it on a regular basis, they even try to lose the taste for non-prasadam foods, like other foods, like various other foods which are not offered to Krishna. So devotion culminates in sharing mercy. If you try to share mercy with other devotees, other fellow beings, then your attachment to devotional service and your enthusiasm will be increasing more and more. So the success behind a festival or an occasion is that no one should be left empty-handed, and spiritual joy expressed through giving. If we try to share something to others, if you try to share some gift, if you try to share some book, if you try to share some prasad, food or something, they might try for the first time, like they don't know anything. So as it is the remnants coming from the Supreme Person, Sri Radhakunj Bihari, then everyone would be relishing that, and eventually the prasad has its significance after entering into the body, and it slowly spiritualizes the body upon honoring prasad continuously. So that's the one of the thing. And even in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna mentions in chapter 3 Karma Yoga, text 13, the devotees are released from all sins because they eat food offered in the sacrifice. So whatever we do, whatever we have, we honor it, If we try to first offer it to Supreme Lord, then we are expressing our gratitude and even our love towards Him. So that too signifies how important is like offering bhoga to Supreme Personality of Godhead, because everything belongs to Krishna, because He is the supreme proprietor of this world and whole cosmic manifestation. Everything belongs to you. Everything belongs to Krishna. So what can we give that belongs to us? There is nothing. But still, if we try to show our love through a small means like offering, even Krishna says like patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayaschati. Even if you offer a flower, even if you offer a small cup of water and tulsi leaves, Lord accepts it wholeheartedly, and He, even though if you have done a little offering, but if you offer it with your sincere heart and love, Lord sees that heart and devotion, which is filled with devotion. Then He showers His mercy upon us, He bestows His mercy upon us, and eventually everything will automatically get sorted in our life. And when we I would like to quote an analogy. So if you consider the movie theater or a concert show. So for that, initially you have to purchase a ticket, and you have to spend some money to afford that ticket. And after spending that, you don't try to avoid it, because anyhow you have spent that money in purchasing the ticket. So obviously you will go, and for some time, like for some stipulated time, like 2 to 3 hours or 3 to 4 hours, something, you will be getting some entertainment through it. And after that, you will just quit the place and you will just come back to your original like normal life. That in that stipulated 2 to 3 hours of time, you don't even remember anything. But straight away after coming out from that, you immediately get many things in your mind, like, oh, I have to do that, I have to do this, I have to go there, I have to meet that person, and everything just resumes it as is. But when you consider in the case of a kirtana or a festival, kirtan fest, something like that. So when you try to engage your senses in glorifying Krishna through amazing kirtans, and also when you try to offer your service and also offer some little sattvic offerings to Krishna, then it becomes prasad, the remnants coming from the Krishna, and his mercy is also being afflicted on that. So this prasad has a great impact on our body, mind and consciousness. Everything, for the body's sake, it's healthy, and even for the mind and consciousness, it gradually improves our consciousness. It tries to reduce our anarthas, and even our taste to material food, material opulences, and even food that is not offered to Krishna is getting slowly reduced. So here the importance is like the temple festivals or kirtans and offerings. So this all comes under the devotional service to Krishna, which has a great impact on our day-to-day lives. So we notice, like when there is a big feast, or whenever there is a big festivals goes on in the temple, we see many people eagerly wait for prasad, because even though they prepare the same item in their home, the taste doesn't be matching with the temple ones, because the temple, the place where that is being offered, it's a sacred. Now the food is becoming sacred, and that even the taste is also getting higher, rather than you preparing without any without even sacrificing first to the Lord, without even offering it to the Lord. If you try to consume it, even if it is like tasty for your tongue, but it's not healthy for your body and mind. So prasad has its own taste and has its own impact on our body and mind and consciousness. So next comes is like, this is not a dry reception. And what is culture and what is civilization and what are its comparison? So here Srila Prabhupada stresses in the purport, like these modern receptions like has various speculations being imposed upon like spectators, noise and waste, like because when we try to engage in a material activity or like material get together or something, we try to speculate things, we try to discuss things other than Krishna, we try to gossip about someone, and this eventually accumulates you a great karma, which you have to have the reactions for it. Because if at all you engage your senses and your activities in glorifying Krishna or serving Krishna in a better way, then this comes under a karma or devotional service, which tries to liberate you from this material world. It doesn't bind you to this material world. It eventually it shows you the path to spiritual dream of Krishna, and Krishna takes care of you in all the circumstances. He protects you. So that is the assurance given by Supreme Lord Shri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. So here the Vedic receptions or the devotional service practices include like participation in devotional activities, like participation in kirtans, like rendering service in various means, like arranging tables and chairs in the temple for the program, or various activities like cleaning the hall and all the activities. This gives a great relief to the soul, and this is a thing that has a great impact and on our soul. Our soul likes this because we know that our position as what is our constitutional position is like our eternal servitors to the Supreme Lord. So we try to engage full length of our time in serving the Lord, but somehow or other we have fallen into this material world. So now we have to take care of the things that drags you away from this devotional service, and we have to be more and more careful with that. So one may question like, so what is the dry reception generally means? Dry reception includes like there will be no sacrifice, there will be no worship, there will be no prasad, and ultimately there is no transformation in the dry reception. So what is culture usually refers to? The life which is centered around God, which is according to the principles and rules and regulations of the scriptures, and what are the rituals that are being performed to purify our consciousness, like yajnas, and as we have recently seen in the last month, like Gita Yajna, is being performed on Bhagavad Gita Advent Day. So these rituals are very important in our Vedic culture, and this community participation is not a merry consumer mentality, but it's a collective effort, and a collective, if you try to do some thing in a team or a collective effort, then you will feel a great joy in that, and you'll also get a great association of devotees, and you will also build your network through it, and you will find new and new friends out of the activity, group activity. So usually in colleges or schools, group activities being more encouraged than the solo participation, because group activity improves our team building skills as well as leadership skills as well. And being in association of devotees is a great blessing, and it not only relieves our anxieties, but also it creates a great enthusiasm and inspiration to follow the process of bhakti and Krishna consciousness. So here Dwaraka people or Dwaraka citizens, they did not wait for any government order or anyone to start an initiative, but they started on their own. They voluntarily prepared their houses, all the common places like highways, subway lanes, and everything. They themselves voluntarily involved in that, because they want to show their love and affection towards Supreme Personality of Godhead. And they knew that Supreme Personality of Godhead, he was reaching Dwaraka after a long time. So whenever you see a person after a long time, how would you feel? How much elated you feel, how much joyful you feel by seeing that person after a very, very long time. Because you have been separated for some period of time, then after that, if you see that your love in that for that person has increased much more when you are being in a long place or separated distance. So here, every home is being turned into a temple, because every citizen, every person in Dwarka had voluntarily acted upon making their residence places very much accustomed to welcome Supreme Lord. Even Supreme Lord may or may not come, but they have that thought like, oh, Supreme Lord is coming to our place, so, and also he's a ruler of our place, so they are very much eager to see him, very much enthusiastic in participating in services like cleaning and making a better place for the arrival of Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna. So, I would like to conclude today's class by quoting few takeaways from this lecture. So, devotion is an active phenomenon. It's not a symbolic thing or it's not a theoretical thing. Vedic culture means participation. It's not a delegation, and the participation is also voluntarily comes out of your heart, and devotion is we all are having the love for Krishna, but it is in dormant state. If we try to awaken it, then every one of us will be very much sincere in our efforts in serving Krishna and Sri Radha Kunj Bihari. So, no celebration is complete without prasada. So, prasada has a great significance in turning an event or a festival into a successful one, and more and more collective efforts one, and more people engaging. Like, if you try to see once, like even in a festival, many people, like, they will be coming to temple, they will be engaging in the aarti services and many things, but eventually, after some stipulated duration of time, naturally they get the feeling of hunger and thirsty, so they see where is the prasadam being served. So, and they are very much eager to see what the prasadam is and how the prasadam could taste for them. So, prasada had a very great impact, not only externally but also internally throughout our consciousness and mind. So, here in Dwarka, every home can become a place of worship. Even in our situation, if we try to start serving Supreme Personality of Godhead through the form of Archa Vigraha, when we try to worship him in our home by placing the deity form, and when we try to offer daily some offerings to the deities, and when we honor it, it will be more, and the joy and the attachment to the deities is being more and more increased day by day. And you will be feeling, if you have not done for a day or two, you will be feeling some change, like, oh, is there something I missed upon? So when you try to check upon that, oh, I missed today, like offering some hoga to the deities, so that's the thing that is being pinging upon me. So immediately you will be going and you will be trying to offer something or other, whatever you have in the house, like sattvic ones, which can be offered to Krishna. So this culture survives through practice. It's not a speculated thing or a theoretical thing, but it's a practical thing. It is to be experienced by all of us, because each and every one of us has a unique experience with Krishna and unique rasa with Krishna. So when we try to reciprocate our love and gratitude towards Krishna, Krishna also reciprocates it in a very high scale that we can't even imagine how much Krishna loves us. So finally, the citizens of Dwaraka teach us welcoming Krishna is not an event, but it is a way of life, because Supreme Personality of Godhead is situated in each and everyone's heart as Paramatma. So nothing can be acquired without his sanction. Everything, if he sanctions only, we are trying to accumulate it by our means. So this is the greatest auspicious thing that and for the Dwaraka citizens are most fortunate to have Supreme Personality of Godhead, to see him face to face, and even to be a part of his transcendental leelas. So yeah, Hare Krishna. I would like to conclude today's lecture, and please forgive me if I have misspoke anything, and any corrections, any suggestions, any questions.
Nice, glad to know how Srila Prabhupada carried the Vedic culture of distributing prasad, and he has manifested it all over the world. And it's really wonderful. I think for the ISKCON prasadam, people in general are really excited about prasadam. Also kirtan and all, but prasadam, really excited.
Yeah, because it's natural for a person, like, for every one of us, like, after some time, like, even in a day, like, if you are doing something also, like, hunger strikes us, like, we have to even manage our body. So this is one of the greatest thing that is being implemented. And yeah, when we honor the prasad, when we see that prasad, the remnants of Supreme Personality of Godhead, we have to respect it, and we have to take it with our sincere heart. And when you take it with your wholeheartedly, then its impact is much more multiplied, and it has a great effect on our body, mind, and consciousness. So yeah, it's a great moment.
We have such a nice prasadam.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Grantaraj Shrimadbhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.